Derwin James has officially re-signed with the LA Chargers after a 14-day hold-in in which he would not do any of the actual scrimmages and or participate in any of the major contact team drills. He has finally re-signed with the team, now being a part of this team for up until the 2026 season. With that being said, I think in this video, we're going to kind of go through the contract itself, some of his stats from last year, so we can kind of take a look forward at what we're going to be seeing these next few years here, as well as what made Derwin so special to get such a major contract. But if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into this. Derwin James officially back with the LA Chargers. So first, let's kind of start with the contract. Now, as mentioned earlier, he did a 14-day hold-in trying to get this contract all set up. Now that he is re-signed, he's going to be fully participated in the Chargers practices, as well as the team-on-team scrimmages that are going to be occurring later this week, as well as being fully ready for the beginning of the regular season, which was a big worry that he wasn't going to have enough practice under his belt for the season to actually begin. Now, for the contract, it is a 4-year deal for $76.5 million, with $19.1 million per year on average, which is record-setting, $42 million in guarantees, which is record-setting, $29 million in year one, which means about $10 million, as well as the these guarantees that get separated equally throughout each year. The sign-up bonus, gets separated equally, and we don't know what the sign-up bonus was, but $29 million in year one, $19.1 million average. This is the highest paying contract for a safety in NFL history. Not only highest paying total, but also per year and in guarantees. This contract is absolutely insane and very well deserved for Derwin James. And you may be asking, why is this contract so well deserved? Well, let's kind of go over what makes Derwin James so special. Now, although Derwin James has already missed 29 games in just 4 seasons with the Chargers, being the fact that he missed the entirety of the 2022 season, only played 5 games in 2019 and missed 2 last year. 29 games is a lot, especially in such a short amount of time, but Derwin James, in the amount of time that he has been on the field, has looked truly incredible. Even with this limited amount of play and the small pool of evidence, Derwin has already been a Pro Bowler twice and an All-Pro once, which is absolutely insane. Not only that, but Derwin has also been labeled as a top 3 safety in the entire league 3 of the 4 years he's been in the league, which, having been a Pro Bowler 2 of those years and missing the entirety of the 2022 year is not too big of a surprise. Now, let's move over to kind of the stats. We're going to look at the stats from last year. Although he did only play 15 of 17 games, it's a pretty serviceable pool of information that we can kind of base it off of what the rest of his contract is going to look like. So last year he had 118 tackles for the Chargers, which I believe was first for the entire team, or second for the entire team, right behind Kaiser White at the time. With 118 tackles, he was 21st in the entire league, as well as 3rd in non-linebackers, which means anyone that's not linebacker, so D-line, safety, cornerbacks, all that. He was 3rd in non-linebackers and 21st in the entire league. Very, very good numbers on multiple different levels. He also had 2 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, which was 13th in the entire league, 2 interceptions, which was 47th, 5 pass deflections, and 6 run stuffs. Those are all very, very good numbers. And I think the biggest reason why, although these stats might not be crazy, is the fact that he, by himself, is doing this at the safety position. Having some of these numbers at different positions might be good in and of itself, but the fact is Derwin James has all of these as one guy at the safety position. It just truly shows how versatile of a player he is. Not only can he line up in the box or as a blitzer in right on the edge or dropping coverage, man coverage, he can do whatever you need him to do and at an excellent level. And I think because of this defense that Brandon Staley has put together, he's only going to improve dramatically with these 4 years that are coming up, as long as injuries stay out of his way. So let's kind of take a look at what to expect and what this defense is going to look like because of the new signing, maybe not new signing, but new contract of Derwin James. So first things first, what to expect for Derwin James. Expect a 4-time Pro Bowler over these next 4 years. Every single year I expect him to be a Pro Bowler as long as health keeps him in the fray. Expect him to be a top contributor for this Chargers team that quite possibly could have a top defense in the league as long as health, again, stays out of the way, with guys like J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack being brought to the team that already had guys like Joey Bosa, Asante Samuel Jr., and, plenty of great players on this team, only improved dramatically. I mean, look, Joey Bosa right behind me. This man's going to be a monster in and of himself. And now you got Derwin James and J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack all on this team. So expect Derwin James to be a 4-time Pro Bowler as long as health stays out of the way of all things. Also, expect some of these turnover numbers to improve. And although that might be a little bit of surprise with the fact that you add in extra talent, but I think it can also improve numbers, not take away from them, because that's going to mean less throws thrown the direction of J.C. Jackson. That means more pressure on the quarterback. They're going to have to get it away because you got guys like Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack coming their way, which means that Derwin James might be, thrown towards a little bit more than we're normally used to, which again is going to lead to more pass deflections as well as quite possibly more interceptions. As well as that, because of this improved defense, I expect to see Derwin James moved up in the box. Now, last year, on about 75% of his plays, he was dropping back into coverage, but because of this improved defense with J.C. Jackson, Nas Adderley getting better as the years go on, J.T. Woods getting added to this team, Asante Samuel Jr., and Michael Davis, all these guys that have great talent in the DB core, expect Derwin James to have the opportunity to be moved in the box and on the edge to put pressure on the quarterback, to be in the run game, because 6 run stuffs is a very good number, especially for a safety that's normally dropping back. Expect Derwin James to improve on all sorts of levels in pass rush, in run stuffing, in pass defense. All of this stuff I expect Derwin James to improve dramatically in. So what kind of does this mean for the defense as a whole? Well, one, you bring back one of the best, if not the best safety in the entire league back to your team for another 4 years, to a roster that still has some money to work with. And although Justin Herbert's new contract in the next few years is probably going to drain a good portion of that money, the fact is that you already have an incredible defense, a very good offense, incredible offense if you want to say, because they were top 10 last year. This team looks insane, and their cap situation looks also very, very good. So this team's going to do a lot. Now, what does the Derwin James bringing back by itself mean? It means it's going to be much harder for other offenses to move down the field. There's going to be tougher for you to throw the ball at Derwin James and at J.C. Jackson, and it's going to be tougher for you to run the ball with guys like Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa up front. This team improved dramatically, immensely, whatever you would like to say, this year with adding talent, and now they're bringing back a talent that they already had on this roster that has, by Brandon Staley's account, looked the most healthy he has in years, the strongest, the fastest he has looked ever in the league, the best he's looked in his life. That is what Brandon Staley said in his interview, I believe yesterday and or the day before. So Derwin James being brought back to the Chargers is massive. I mean, truly massive. And although it was definitely expected, he was holding in, so it's not like he was not in the facility. Most of the team understood that the reason behind it, and there was no hard feelings. Everyone expected this to happen. I think is definitely a thing that other teams, other fan bases were hoping that this didn't occur, not only because of this team, what they already had on this roster, but because what Derwin James can bring to a team by himself. So Derwin James being brought back to the Chargers, at least for me, is incredibly good news. But what do you guys think? Do you like this contract? Do you think he deserves to be the highest paid safety in all of NFL history? I think he has what it takes in him to do exactly that. Now we're going to have to see over time through the contract. Up front, I think this was well worth it. It's just about him being healthy and playing at the top level that he can play at. But what do you guys think? contract, stats, do you think he's going to be playing as well as he did? Do you think his numbers will go up or go down with the improved defense? What are your thoughts on this matter? If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. And if you enjoy this channel, you want to see more videos like this, NFL, NBA, and NHL, practically daily videos, why not subscribe? It truly means the world to me. Lots of you are already coming back. I have 700 plus returning viewers, but less than 300 subs. So it would mean the world to me if you guys could just click that subscribe button. I'm trying to reach 1,000 before the end of the year. I cannot do that without your guys' help. But as always, I hope you taught something today. Hope made you smile. Hope made you laugh. That's something that's really important to me. Affect someone else's day in a great way, because every single day can be a great day if we all just put in the effort. And as always, you guys all be safe out there.
But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that